Because future-looking statements are inherently subject to risk and uncertainty, our reminder is that you should make any purchasing decisions or investment decisions based on products that are currently commercially available.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Einstein for Admins. I'm Sanjana Parulekar, and I'm a product marketer here on the Einstein team. I want to start off with a moment of gratitude to just thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us here today. Now, I'm reporting to you from sunny San Francisco. If this was any other time, we would all be here together. But in place of that, we're going to take the next 15 minutes to quickly show you how Einstein can help you build intelligent apps for your business. Pretty cool stuff. So, in this episode, we're going to look at Einstein Prediction Builder, Einstein Next Best Action, and Einstein Bots. 3 completely different products with one thing in common. They can help you do more with less. And we know this is an incredibly challenging time for everyone, for all of us, myself included. All of us here at Salesforce are with you. And that's why we want to make sure that we're helping you with AI. We want to make sure that we're helping you find those use cases where AI is most impactful to not only your customers, but also to your employees. And AI can do a lot of things. AI can help you sell more effectively and create better service experiences, and even engage with your customers at the right time with the right messages. But we can't cover all of that today. So instead, we're going to focus on building predictions, building those into workflows with Next Best Action, and building a seamless service experience with bots. Now, first up, to talk a little bit more about predictions and Next Best Actions is my friend and colleague, our Senior Director of Product Management, Sarah Asher. Take it away, Sarah.
Thanks, Sanjana. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Asher, and I'm a product manager on the Einstein platform team. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today, I'm going to be talking about Einstein Prediction Builder and Einstein Next Best Action. So first, I'm going to start with Einstein Prediction Builder and give a little context on why we created that tool. And the reason we created that tool is actually all of you guys. All of you guys work for different companies, and each of these companies has unique, different business problems. However, one thing that's actually common across all of you is that artificial intelligence, AI, can be used potentially to help understand these business problems and potentially help solve these business problems. However, creating AI and integrating into Salesforce is not necessarily an easy thing to do. And that's sort of why we created Einstein Prediction Builder, to make it easy for each company to create their own unique predictions and integrate it into their own unique companies to help with their own unique business problems. So anyways, that's why we created it. Now I'm going to give you a quick demo so you can see how it works. And so right now, imagine I am an account manager for Bright Bank, and I have a bunch of clients, and I'd love to get some of my clients to upgrade. So I want to start talking to some of them, but I need to figure out which clients are the ones that are most likely to upgrade. So those are the ones that I give my good upsell offers to. So let's go. Okay, we are now in the admin pages of our organization. So I'm going to select Einstein Prediction Builder, and I'm going to start to create a new prediction. I'll just call it my prediction. So select an object to predict. We are predicting whether clients are likely to upgrade or not. The client information is stored on the contact object, so I am just going to choose the contact object. Einstein Prediction Builder does 2 different kinds of predictions, yes/no questions and numeric questions. In our case, we are predicting whether a client is likely to upgrade or not. So for any individual client, you can ask the question, will this client upgrade, yes or no? So we can phrase this as a yes/no question, and that's why we're going to choose yes/no. So in order to create a prediction, Einstein needs what is called positive examples and negative examples. And what that means is it needs examples of clients where they have upgraded and examples of clients where they are never going to upgrade. And so in this particular instance, we happen to have a checkbox, and that checkbox is upgraded. And if that is checked, it means that the client has upgraded. And if it is not checked, it means they have not upgraded or they have not yet upgraded. So we have a field we can use, this checkbox, and so we're going to select that. If you're trying to use Prediction Builder and you don't have a field, that's okay. You can choose the no field option, and you will be able to define your positive and negative examples in a different way. So as I said, we had this checkbox that we're going to use, upgraded. And then the next question is, what records should we use as examples? So if something is not selected, it could mean either that they are not going to upgrade, or it could mean they just haven't upgraded yet. So you want to have the ones where you are confident that if it is checked, it means they have upgraded. And if it is not checked, it means they are never going to upgrade. So the examples that we're actually going to use for this is customer tenure, where they have been clients for longer than 12 months. So if they've been a client of ours for 12 months and they haven't upgraded, chances are they're not going to. So we're going to assume those are our negative examples. At this point, I would recommend checking data to confirm you have enough both positive and negative examples, and it will also tell you how many records you're going to provide scores for. What fields should Einstein base your prediction on? This list is sort of up to you. You can tell us what fields you would like us to use to construct this prediction and which fields you would rather us not use. So in this case, for example, if you don't want us to use birth date, we can remove that field, which I will do right now. If there are fields where you're not sure whether to remove them or not, leave them in. Prediction Builder will figure it out for you. Okay, name the custom field that stores your results. So when we do a yes-no prediction, we actually don't return yes or no. What we return is a number between 0 and 100. And the larger the number is, the more likely it is that they are going to upgrade. And the lower the number, the less likely it is they're going to upgrade. So you have to decide where you would like us to return those scores. So I will just create a field called my score. And at that point, you're pretty much done. You can start building the prediction, and Einstein Prediction Builder is going to take this configuration and construct this prediction for you. And so you can see right now that the prediction we just created isn't pending. It is now in the Einstein platform's hand and will come back to us sometime probably within a half hour or an hour, but it may take up to 24 hours. But I have one that we created earlier, and it's ready for review. At that point, what you can do is you can look at the scorecard, and you can get estimates of how well we think Einstein Prediction Builder thinks this model is going to do. You have a prediction quality metric. And if it's in the green, it means that it seems like it might be a reasonable prediction and it's worth trying out. You can also have sort of a sanity test of your prediction by looking at the top predictors and seeing if they make sense to you. So for example, account value, it makes sense that that field would be important for creating this prediction. Likewise, customer satisfaction, if someone is more satisfied, the more likely they are to upgrade. So it makes sense that these would be features that would be used in this prediction. If you're happy with this prediction, at that point, what you can do is you can hit the Enable button, and then Einstein Prediction Builder will start returning scores back for all your records so that you can find out for your clients whether they are likely to upgrade or not. Okay. So now we have created our prediction and we've enabled it, which means for each client, we're going to be able to tell which clients are more likely to want to upgrade and which clients are less likely to want to upgrade. But now, what's next? How do we use this prediction? How do we know which offers to show to which clients? Well, that's the purpose of Einstein Next Best Action. It's to provide a set of personalized recommendations that then you can then offer up to your client. So let's see what this looks like, first of all, by going into an individual client's record, and then we're going to show you how to set up an Einstein Next Best Action strategy. We are now looking at the record for Miss Rose Gonzalez, who is one of our clients. And there are a couple things that I wanted to point out to you. So the first thing is this field, likelihood to upgrade. This is where we put the scores from the prediction that we created in the first part of this demo. So here you can see that Miss Gonzalez is actually very likely to upgrade. She has a very high score. The other thing I would like to point out is next best action along the side. And you can see the 3 offers that we would like to potentially offer to Ms. Gonzalez. So the first one is an increased credit line. That is an upsell offer. And then we also have 2 cross-sell offers, an interest balance transfer and a mortgage refinance offer. So the question is, how did we decide that those were the 3 offers to show to Ms. Gonzalez? And the answer to that is through next best action. We created a strategy that told us which were the best offers to show. And so let me get into Strategy Builder so you can see the strategy that we built for these types of offers. So if you look here on the left, you can see loading upsell offers, cross-sell offers, transfer offers. If you remember, our first one, which was the increased credit line, was an upsell offer, and our balance due and our mortgage refinancing were cross-sell offers. So the way this flow works is that you load in a bunch of different offers, and then at each step along the way, you determine whether that offer is still good for your particular client. And if it is, then you keep moving down the flow all the way to the end, which is the output, which are the final offers, which then get displayed to the clients. So let's take a look at some of the individual nodes. Let's start with this one, which is filter on likelihood to upgrade. And you can see this is just using that likelihood to upgrade field and saying if it's greater than 50, then the offers are still good and can continue down the flow. The exciting thing about that particular node is that that's the intersection between Einstein Prediction Builder and Einstein Next Best Action. This is how you can use your predictions to help determine what are the best offers to show to your end user. The next node I'd like to talk to you about is the filter on credit score. And this one is cool for a different reason. It is cool because you can actually use Apex in here to integrate with external systems. So you can use external systems data in order to determine the best offers to show your clients. I'd also like to point out this node, which is the limit reoffers. And so the concept of this is if a user rejects a recommendation that you've offered to them, do you show it again or not? And when would you show it again? And so here you can limit it so that if you've shown a recommendation or an offer to someone and they rejected it, you're not going to show it again for another 90 days. So you don't overwhelm them with the same offer over and over and over. So now if you take a look at these, you can see that we have other offers that are in the system, like delinquent must pay, or maybe there's missing data. And the point of this is regardless of what your customer is or who your client is, we can look at data on that customer and then determine which are the best offers that make the most sense for them based on these rules. So once you go through all these rules, you'll notice that we have a sort node. And the important thing about the sort node is now what it does is it takes all the offers, maybe it's some upsell offers or some transfer offers or whatever else, and then determines which one goes on top. So which are the first ones that you should display to your end user. And so that's the sorting one. And once it's sorted it, then it gets passed along and then it goes into the output. And those are the ones that get displayed to Ms. Gonzalez or any of your clients. Well, that concludes our demo of Einstein Prediction Builder and Einstein Next Best Action. Thank you very much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed it. Next up is Phil, who's going to be talking about Einstein Bots. So take it away, Phil.
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, Trailblazers. My name is Phil Moore, and I'm coming to you today from my home here in Dublin, Ireland. Thank you for joining this admin series. Now more than ever, our customers need help addressing their customers' queries at such an unprecedented scale. Today, I'm going to show you how with Service Cloud, we are not here just to make it more personal or faster, but smarter with Einstein, allowing them to supercharge their support teams. Let's take a look at how we can use AI to address common service interactions with Einstein. In this demo, I will show you how we are triaging cases at scale with Einstein. Here we can see a case sent via email, which would typically have just a contact and possibly a subject line filled in. We can already see how Einstein is classifying the case for us by predicting various fields such as language, product family, type, and priority. We can also see from this case that Einstein has predicted the best article recommendation to the agent, allowing us to attach that article to the case and submit it to the customer. Let's take a look behind the scenes where we power Service Cloud with Einstein for you awesome admins with clicks not code. Here you can see that the field product family can be either set to select best value, allowing the agent to pick the best value, or to automate the value where Einstein will automatically pick the best value for that field. We've just seen how we can automate common service interactions with Einstein for Service Cloud. Now let's take a look at how we can help turn the dial on supporting even more customers at scale with Einstein Bots. But before we dive in, a chatbot is only as good as the content it displays. Every word, punctuation, or option you present on a chatbot will influence your customer experience and affect your brand. To build a chatbot, someone has to choose the content. And like any good content, it's best to start with the audience. Admins, I suggest you start with these 3 questions. Number 1, who is the chatbot for? Number 2, what is the goal or purpose does this chatbot serve? Number 3, does the name and personality of the chatbot match the business brand? Okay, hey admins, are you ready to scale Service Cloud with the power of AI with Einstein? Let's do this. Here we have our bot called Sunny, who is ready to help our customers at scale. But wait, something isn't right with the main menu, or we need to make some changes quickly. Let's do this, admins. Why not personalize your bot's main menu to ensure that your customers have the ability to transfer to an agent at all times? And for this change, let's go to the main menu. Let's search for transfer to an agent and update the main menu. Also, what if your bot is menu driven only? That's okay, but what if your customer wants to use their own natural language? Here we will switch on the dialogue intent, and you can see where we can add our own, or you can leverage the app exchange to import the bot intents you need, such as NeuroFlash. Why not pair your bot with knowledge? This is another great way to improve your bot, where those same great articles that your customers and agents would have access to are now readily available for your bot to use also. And nobody likes a dead end. No agents available. Here we will look to improve the flow with your customers. And why not take this moment to drive a survey with your customers to get some feedback about your bot, or maybe fill the gap with a joke. Either way, you decide. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that these sessions have inspired you. I know that I'm inspired by each and every one of you. And I hope that with Einstein, we can make our admins even more awesome. Back to you, Sanjana.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Phil, for showing those amazing demos of Einstein Prediction Builder, Next Best Action, and bots. These are products that you can get up and running with right away and deliver intelligent experiences for your customers and your employees. Now, your learning journey doesn't stop here. We invite you to visit us on Trailhead, where we have a whole host of trails and projects and modules where you can get started with learning about AI and experiencing these products for yourself. We also invite you to visit our use case page, where you can go through an interactive website to discover your ideal use case for AI and explore customer stories of customers who have already gone through this journey. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you'll discover your ideal use case with these assets.
Metazoa Snapshot is a comprehensive org management solution to help maintain, manage, clean up, and optimize Salesforce orgs. Deploy metadata and data using visual workspaces that reduce complexity and simplify workflow. Clean up your org and reduce technical debt by removing unused metadata. And visualize profiles and permission sets with mass edit and user assignment capabilities. Check out Metazoa Snapshot on App Exchange to learn more.